In at 10, Circus Baby. Top 10 worst anime betrayals, but it's FNAF. In sister location, we thought we finally had the first nice animatronic. Like basically, a prototype Glamrock Freddy. Or at least, we thought so at first. Baby was giving us tips on how to survive. She really seemed like she wanted us to live. But then, what do we get for trusting her? Just like my ex, scooped and stuffed, just like a Thanksgiving turkey. This was probably one of the most brutal things to happen to a character in the entire series, and it's all because we trusted Baby, alright? She made us feel safe, she gave us confidence, she prevented us from getting killed, only to use our body as a skin suit and then get kicked out of Enter not even a game later. This is why I don't trust Glamrock Freddy. Okay, Baby is legit one of the reasons that I have trust issues, and that's saying something. Like, holy damn, okay? I could have sworn throughout the whole of Security Breach that we were gonna get betrayed, and then Glamrock Freddy was gonna do the same thing. Like, lead us down to Afton and then pull a psych. I've been working for this but he didn't. However, thanks to Baby, I'm still pretty sure that this man is doing a long con. And if you're liking this video and you want to see more, be sure you're smashing that like button. Smash it like I'd smash Glamrock Chica. And make sure that you're subscribed, because YouTube randomly unsubs people sometimes. I don't know, okay? The internet is weird. Moving on. In at 9, Glamrock Freddy. Yeah, I'm calling him out even more. Glamrock Freddy is one of the newer Glamrock animatronics created in Security Breach. He's the Glamrock version of Freddy Fazbear. I mean, I don't really know how else to say it. He's based off like the original Freddy, but with an early UK 1970s vibe, or 80s, I don't know which one had neon, I wasn't born. Similar to Toy Freddy though, he has a top hat, he's made of plastic, kind of like Kim Kardashian, and then he has a thin blue stripe above the brim of his hat. He has a microphone now that has a stand this time. Yeah, that's fancy. He's a bit boxier, he has a light blue stripe on his chest, and also at like the center of his jaw. I don't know, he has like a lightning bolt like he's a wannabe Flash. Glamrock Freddy within the game though is Gregory's protector, okay? Attempting to help him survive until 6 AM and escape, with the player being able to climb into his stomach, which is referred to as the birthday cake hole on the PlayStation blog, which is a whole other set of concerning questions. And then you can take control of him and hide and evade from other animatronics in certain sections, and you kind of have like a mech that doesn't really fight. However, I trust this man as far as I can throw him, because I firmly believe that we're gonna have another Circus Baby situation that will probably be revealed when the DLC comes out in 2023. Like seriously, there's no way that this many things could have worked out in our favor throughout this game accidentally. No way at all. There's something sus going on here, and I'm pretty sure that it's Freddy. In at 8, Jetpack Balloon Boy. Jetpack Balloon Boy is Balloon Boy's third skin and the third skin of the steampunk event within FNAF AR. The skin was released on July 8th of last year, I think, maybe, after being leaked by Lumix's community tab on YouTube over 12 hours early. I mean, it's still better than Funko leaking the design of the Security Breach animatronics though, am I right? Jetpack Balloon Boy's body shape looks identical to that of Balloon Boy, but now he wears a brown leather coat and has wool inside of it, because you know it's steampunk. And he also has a large pilot's hat that's got multiple gears, bulbs, other devices, kind of like, you know, this normal steampunk thing. He wears a pair of goggles, because of course he does, and the right lens is like kind of glowing green, and the left lens is broken, and it actually reveals a robotic yellow eye, as if this wasn't concerning enough. His shoes and arms are also made of bronze and metal, and they're covered with gears, because they're really pushing the steampunk thing. I don't think they use that many gears. But now, his sign also reads "Let's Fly," with big letters, being made out of scrap metal and also bolted to the sign, because again, they gotta drive that point home. His balloon is decorated to look like a hot air balloon with gears, jewels, and curtains covering it. And finally, as his name suggests, he has a large jetpack on his back, which he will use to fly over your house and dive bomb it, because that's what steampunk does, right? Blow things up, I'm pretty sure. It sounds like it would be fun, although the whole "Let's Fly" thing is giving me Pennywise vibes, and I don't dig it. I don't like it. In at 7, Nightmare Chica. Nightmare Chica isn't a selectable character in Ultimate Custom Night, but is rather a secret character in the game that is spawned in by Dee Dee. Nightmare Chica's jaws will appear on the screen when she's spawned in. The player needs to turn on the power, or AC, to prevent her mouth from closing and never appear again. That's absolutely terrifying! Okay? Just slowly watching the jaws of deaths surround your face after just randomly being summoned is absolutely shocking. Like, how do you react to that? You don't even need to see the animatronic for this to be absolutely terrifying, and that's saying something. Like you're just chilling there, and all of a sudden, this little pops up. She's like, how unfortunate, and then boom, you got the jaws of sudden death surrounding your mall. Like, why did you have to do this to Mommy Chica? Okay, in nightmare form nonetheless. At least put me in Toy Chica's mouth, damn it. And at 6, Jacko Chica. Jacko Chica is an antagonist exclusive to the Halloween Update DLC for Five Nights at Freddy's 4, replacing Nightmare Chica, but she returns as an antagonist on Ultimate Custom Night. Jacko Chica is a Halloween themed version of her original counterpart Nightmare Chica, and is a distorted, nightmarish version of Chica with several sharp teeth and wires sticking out from the torn parts of her body. Unlike her original counterpart though, she lacks eyes and an endoskeleton head, instead having a bright orange light in her eye sockets and torso, and an orange tint to fit with the Halloween theme. She also carries around a jack-o'-lantern instead of her iconic cupcake. When the office heats up to 90 degrees, Jacko Chica will appear in both halls at the same time. Once she is fully materialized, she will then jump scare the player, ending the game. The only way to stop her is by closing the left and right doors at the same time to make her vanish, but this will not work if the office reaches 100 degrees or more. Damn, now we gotta deal with heat too? Jesus. How about doing at number 5, XOR? XOR is a special variation of DD in Ultimate Custom Night that replaces DD when playing 50-20 mode and, on very rare occasions, during normal gameplay. XOR, also known as Shadow DD, resembles the Shadow animatronics that appear in FNAF 2 and 3 and has a name that's kinda similar to the animatronic known by most fans as Shadow Bonnie. It is unknown if it is intentional or by coincidence, but while XOR cannot attack the player, she can appear in the office, rapidly sliding left and right while singing a distorted version of DD's song that's actually also in reverse. This is followed by a guitar riff signaling that if playing 50-20 mode, she has added all of the 6 secret characters that are not available in the selection screen. Okay, RWQFFASXC, which is Shadow Bonnie, Plush Trap, Nightmare Chica, Bonnet, Mini Renas, and Lolbit. If she appears during normal gameplay, she will either add a new character with a randomized setting from 1 to 20, or only one of the secret characters. Luckily. And for Helpy. Helpy is a small plastic figure from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. He is also a returning character as an opponent in Ultimate Custom Night. Helpy is a mini version of Funtime Freddy from Sister Location. He has a white body with purple accents, pink cheeks, the ones on his face, get your head out of the gutter, a small black top hat, short black eyebrows, and he has eyes that have purple eyelids and blue pupils. Against his original counterpart, he has 2 circular hands, 4 fingers, and has no toes and no faceplates. Helpy also seems to be pretty fragile, since every time the player fails in a minigame, he ends up breaking his neck. R.I.P. Helpy. When Helpy appears in the office in Ultimate Custom Night, the player needs to click on him quickly, or he'll end up getting too close with an air horn, agitating sound-sensitive animatronics like Music Man up at the top. He also increases by 1 fast coin every time the player clicks on it. Getting close to the end of number 3, Piranha Plush Trap. Piranha Plush Trap is Plush Trap's 2nd skin in FNAF AR and the 3rd skin to be added throughout the Wicked Tides event. He released on June 7th after being delayed for 3 days for unknown reasons, but we actually ended up making a community post about this when he was coming out. And personally, this is like one of the scariest FNAF AR skins ever added. Piranha Plush Trap is hardly like the original Plush Trap. Now they're made of like a more organic flesh-like material, even having like realistic gums. His mouth is littered with long, thin, sharp teeth akin to that of a, I don't know, piranha, and his eyes are extremely small and glow an ocean blue because, you know, that's how all like beautiful people are described in books, right? Oh, their eyes are the color of the ocean because, you know, that's Plush Trap is beautiful. On the sides of his head, he has glowing orange gills. His feet also glow that same orange, and his hands have orange webbing in between them that kind of stretches as he moves because, you know, they're piranhas. That's kind of how it works. Although the webbing is in between the fingers doesn't glow, luckily. His ears are covered in barnacles. His mouth, stomach, and right leg are all covered in like string-like algae. His body is fully covered in spikes, and his torso is also split open, revealing his ribs. And this thing is actually horrifying, and I do hope that we see them in another game instead of just in special delivery because this is terrifying. This would actually genuinely scare me. This is like the baby zombie of FNAF. But ultimately in at number 2, Nightmare. That's right, they're only at 2. Nightmare is the main antagonist of FNAF 4, alright? They return an Ultimate Custom Night. I don't think that Nightmare specifically is in FNAF VR though. Their face features, like, they have scratches and they're all distorted. It's basically just an inverted Nightmare Fredbear, alright? His jaw has all the white sharp teeth that you would normally expect with a Nightmare. Got blood stains, his like black gums, his black eyelids, white thin pupils, red irises, and just, I don't know, it's terrifying. I don't know why they thought that this would be okay. This is called Nightmare for a reason. His body contains like a bit like a lighter bit of gray on his stomach, I guess, and he has a shiny yellow bow tie because that makes everything better. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare are basically just a tag team, also in Ultimate Custom Night. They're invisible to the cameras and can only be seen when they reach the doorways. Then once their eyes are visible, you gotta close the doors to make them leave you alone. And finally, in at number 1, the daycare attendant. This mother hubber. The daycare attendant, otherwise known in-game as Sun or Moon, is a superstar daycare attendant animatronic, obviously, that appears in Security Breach and is a recurring antagonist in its Moon form. As Sun, the daycare attendant they're upbeat, they're energetic, they're kind of similar to Funtime Freddy in that sense. They enjoy doing activities with children, such as putting on puppet shows and drinking Fizzy Faz, you weirdo. And when Gregory knocks down, like, the things to distract him, he kind of has to pick them up and he's panicking about it. I don't know why. He's also very serious about keeping the lights on because if they're off, he transforms into Moon. And then as Moon, they're really malevolent and aggressive and they're really angry for some reason. They constantly chase Gregory once the lights turn off, and then they attempt to punish him for, quote, going past his bedtime and being a naughty, naughty boy. Yeah, even though Moon still has a distaste for messes, they gotta clean it up as well, which is actually at least a little bit good because you can torture him while he's torturing you. But honestly, this kind of attitude that this animatronic has in general kind of gives me a whole, like, come see what's in my van, I got more Fizzy Faz in there vibe, you know? And straight up, I don't like that. It makes me feel like a deep-seated anger in the pit of my stomach, and it makes me want to throw this man to the floor and beat him until his brain wires spill out, which is fine for me to say in this case because it's an animatronic that I'm referring to, although I'm sure the prosecution has ended the video before I can say that. But hopefully my lawyer has unpaused the video right now so the jury can have an oh okay moment like in all of the movies when they start to truly understand my innocence. And at 10, Aeronaut Toy Freddy. Aeronaut Toy Freddy is a skin for Toy Freddy with a steampunk pilot and engineer theme. He is Toy Freddy's third skin and the second skin added in the Screampunk event. He was released on July 1st. Aeronaut Toy Freddy is a much darker shade of brown than his original counterpart, with a lighter colored snout and mouth. His hat is now much larger and features various scrap metal and gears. He wears large gear and magnifying glass based goggles. He also wears a large leather trench coat, leather pants, a leather boot, and a clock based bow tie, which is weird. His chest cavity is broken up to show multiple golden gears, and he wears a golden pilot badge. He has a large bag strapped around his shoulder, and he has a steampunk arm cannon on his left forearm. His left hand and right foot are also encased with golden metal, which is pretty sick. Finally, he wields a large metal wrench. However, while interesting, it isn't the scariest skin. I just don't want him to get anywhere close to me with that wrench, because we all know how that's gonna end. And at 9, Flamethrower Bear Endo. Flamethrower Bear Endo was a new summer-themed animatronic added on July 23rd, 2020 from FNAF AR's event known as the Sizzling Summer Event. Flamethrower Bear Endo is an orange endoskeleton with a large red welding mask and 2 large gas canisters on his back. The canisters are also hooked up to a flamethrower attached to his arm. And while not the most intimidating character looks-wise, the fact that this character straight up has a flamethrower makes him probably the most dangerous one out of the bunch. Some of these sure have their advantages as well, but some are only good in the water or something similar. This dude will burn your house down for fun and then regret nothing. Mostly because robots don't have emotions. But still, there's something to be scared of. This guy was built to burn down, and I don't think that he's gonna be waiting for your approval before going berserk. I don't know, maybe he's a sweet guy after all. Maybe I can change him. And at 8, Broiler Baby. Broiler Baby is the first skin for Circus Baby in Special Delivery and the second skin for the Sizzling Summer event, added after Flamethrower Bear Endo. Broiler Baby for the most part looks exactly like Circus Baby, except the fact that she is covered in soot and has red eyes instead of green. She also features a large broiler on her stomach. and instead of a microphone, she holds a coal shovel. The inside of her mask also seems to be lit up by fire. The red eyes are not only meant to indicate fire and heat, but also I'm sure to let us know that this version of Baby is not possessed by Elizabeth Afton, since Baby's eyes were originally blue and then changed to green when she got possessed. And not only does the inside of her head look like she was on fire, but her endoskeleton also appears to be red hot, similar to Flamethrower Endo. The coal shovel looks like a feather in the screenshot orientation, at least from what I saw, but all of this begs the question, why? Where did this come from, and how did this happen? And at 7, the puppet. The puppet is an animatronic puppet, alright? I mean, it's in the name. And they're also a major antagonist, but also technically a good guy within the FNAF series. First appearing as the main antagonist of FNAF 2, but later on showing their heroic side. It possibly serves as the prize vendor of the newly refurbished Freddy Fazbear's of 1987, although it isn't also implied that it was originally from Fredbear's Family Diner as a security puppet, or at least that was the inspiration behind this version. After the pizzeria was only open for a few short weeks, it was then closed down, but the puppet, unlike the other toy animatronics who were scrapped due to possible malfunctions, was not scrapped, appearing later on in the new pizzeria from the first game, as evident by the dream cutscenes of multiple games, alright? There's a lot going on. And then also appearing as Lefty in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Lefty was also an animatronic that was intended to capture the puppet, as Charlotte Emily's father, Henry, knew that her soul was actually possessing the puppet. However, it's also widely believed that Charlotte is William's first victim, meaning that overall, they would have like the most significance to the story. Plus, have you seen like the way that it walks in FNAF 2 in VR before it jump scares you? That's creepy as hell, okay? No thank you. No. It's like a weird worm thing. I don't like it. And at 6, Jacko Chica. Jacko Chica is an antagonist exclusive to the Halloween Update DLC for Five Nights at Freddy's 4, replacing Nightmare Chica. She returns also as an antagonist on Ultimate Custom Night, but I mean, exclusive, I mean, in FNAF 4, they're exclusive, and then ignoring Ultimate Custom Night. Jacko Chica is a Halloween-themed version of Nightmare Chica. I mean, I feel like it's pretty evident. She's distorted, nightmarish version of Chica with several sharp teeth, wires coming out of the torn parts of her body. However, unlike her original counterpart, she doesn't have any eyes, and or like an endoskeleton head at all, really. Instead, they have a bright orange light that's coming from within their soul. I don't know. Their eye sockets and torso are like glowing bright orange to kind of fit with the Halloween theme. She also carries a jack-o'-lantern instead of a cupcake because, you know, Jacko, that's kind of how it works. And then also in Ultimate Custom Night, when the office heats up to 90 degrees, Jacko Chica will appear in both halls at the same time. And then once she is fully materialized, she will then jump scare you, ending the game. The only way to stop her is by closing the left and right doors at the same time to make her go away. But this won't work if the office reaches 100 degrees or more, alright? So yeah, we gotta deal with heat. You gotta deal with the heat. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the office kitchen thing. I don't know. I haven't played Ultimate Custom Night. And at 3, Clockwork Ballora. Man, with Minecraft getting those copper blocks, steampunk seems to be all over the place. Clockwork Ballora is Ballora's second skin and the first skin of the Screampunk event. Clockwork Ballora looks pretty much like normal Ballora, but is made entirely out of golden gears and plates, cause steampunk. Her crown and her shoulder pads have become large gears, and her lower legs, sections of her arms, and her pelvis are all colored in rust color, cause again, you know, steampunk. Her tutu is made up of a large gear rotating that also looks like it can play records, and her top is made up of another rust-colored bottom piece and a black-colored top piece with a rose pattern on it. Finally, the gold plates that make up her face, arms, and legs are welded into a Victorian-style set of patterns with some red-colored indents. But this time around, she comes with similarly styled mini-Rinas. The Clockwork mini-Rinas look like Clockwork Ballora, except their faces have blood stains and their eyes glow green, which is all the more menacing. Blood-stained faces. Love that. Penultimately in at number 2, Sunken Toy Bonnie. As the second skin of the Wicked Tides event that had started as we released the last part of this list, Sunken Toy Bonnie is Toy Bonnie's third skin. Sunken Toy Bonnie also looks basically identical to Toy Bonnie, but is made entirely out of brown and green barnacle covered wood. His stomach is colored with dull pinks, blues, and purples, and he appears to be made out of a more glossy shell-like texture. His bow tie is now made up of 2 purple scallops, and his cheeks have large lime-covered clams covering them. His ear has a large large chip in it, and his tail has large vein-like strands of stone covering it. Finally, his eyes are a multicolored watery texture that looks somewhat like opal, or a very blurry coral reef. Basically, a Bonnie animatronic if they were a Scooby-Doo beach villain like the ghost of Captain Cutler. And it's The Curse. The Curse is an Aztec-themed skin for the Springtrap animatronic. It was released on March 5th in the Ancient Equinox event and is the 4th skin for Springtrap. The Curse is a teal-colored Springtrap dressed to look like an ancient Aztec warrior. He has a large feathered crown and a golden chest piece, which had me thinking that we were gonna get to shoot him, but I guess not. When will I get to shoot the animatronics with guns? Like, guns seem like they would be really effective to the somehow still alive William Afton that would be inside Springtrap. Well, at least normal Springtrap, not these, since they're made by the company to send to people's homes. But that makes no sense, because why would someone order a version of the killer? Anyway, his hands are colored orange with sharp black claws, and in one of them he holds a large golden shield. Honestly, I didn't realize that it was a shield. I thought that it was just like a giant fan, which I mean might say more about me than I realized. And he's also decorated head to toe in mostly ornate designs, and some gold or maybe blood soaking his hands and feet. This dude is a menace, and at least one version of an Afton is looking like they're decaying, since decaying corpses aren't purple and instead green. This version is green. And at 9, High Score Chica. High Score Chica is a neon-themed skin for obviously Toy Chica, released in May of 2020, as a part of the Arcade Mayhem event. This was the first alternate skin for Toy Chica, and she's joined by her 8-bit cupcake. Toy Chica is a neon blue animatronic with an aura effect, but also looks like a neon sign, with only her edges being blue. Her eyes are orange and yellow, with the famous Let's Eat bib changed to say High Score, in the same orange as her eyes. In her attack mode, Game Over Toy Chica replaces the high score version, and her appearance changes, with the blue glow switching to red and purple, and her eyes changing to be red as well. Her bib changes to say Game Over, and her beak gets removed, because you had to, right? The animatronic almost appears like a hologram, with me feeling like I could almost push my hand through her and have no resistance. But I also like the idea that the bib is like one of those hats or masks that has the LED screen on it, so you can write stuff like whatever you want. Like that would be kind of cool if I'm being honest. Like other than that, this version of Toy Chica just puts me on edge. And at 8, VR Toy Freddy. Also added in May of 2020 as a part of the Arcade Mayhem event, we have VR Toy Freddy, a version of Toy Freddy similar to that of High Score Chica, with a purple holographic outline instead of blue and wearing a VR headset instead of having an 8-bit cupcake. However, in attack mode, VR Freddy loses the headset, and like me when I have to come out of VR, looks pissed off, with his purple and slightly blue colors switching to yellow outlines with a red circuit board across his body, which really looks more like magical runes if you ask me, but whatever. But where this character really shines is in the eyes. Just like me, everything seems brighter when Toy Freddy takes off the headset. His eyes are glowing green with circuit lines coming from them and reaching across his face. It's actually fairly freaky considering the original skin. The fact that this guy goes from calming colors to looking like a McDonald's reject is terrifying, but understandable because nobody takes me out of VR unless I'm ready. If you interrupt me, expect the same thing to happen with me, unless it's FNAF VR, because I'm happy for any excuse to leave that game. And at 7, Melted Chocolate Bonnie. Melted Chocolate Bonnie is a melted variant of Chocolate Bunny, obviously, released on April 1st, 2021. He is the 4th skin for Bonnie and the 1st skin of 2021 to be released alone. Melted Chocolate Bonnie looks near identical to Chocolate Bonnie, except he's obviously melting. He has way more holes than the original Chocolate Bonnie, some of which show more of his endoskeleton, and is now a slightly darker shade of brown. Finally, on his upper left arm, lower right arm, and left hand, various small sprinkles can be seen, kinda like those Little Debbie rainbow sprinkle brownies. It also took me forever to remember what the hell these were called. Even if it reminds me of a cherished childhood treat, this thing is still horrifying. It being melted gives it a more ruined appearance, like it just shouldn't exist, which just adds to the creep factor. It looks like a zombie, like a chocolate zombie, which isn't healthy because it wants you to eat it, but if you take a bite then you also become a chocolate zombie too. And at 6, Blackheart Bonnie. Blackheart Bonnie is a Valentine's Day themed skin for Bonnie released on February 4th, 2021. He is Bonnie's 3rd skin and was added during the Heartstoppers event on the same day as Heartsick Baby. Blackheart Bonnie looks nearly identical to Bonnie. However, his entire body is now made up of black glass. His torso, upper left arm, right forearm, and both his legs are covered in scratches, cracks, and holes. His eyes are mostly black, but his irises glow a bright red. Finally, in his torso there is a pixelated heart that flickers and glows. This is the scarier of the two Valentine's Day skins, but oh my god, is this thing wicked sick. I love the color red, and that being combined with black just makes for a badass color palette. And while it does look incredibly sick, I'm still running away, because this dude got his heart broken and he's about to act out. This guy is gonna key your car as you're driving by on the highway. He's gonna open the back door of the van, lean out and key your car as you try to drive away. It's not okay. He will jump on a tractor trailer in order to catch up with you. He is insane and you need to stay away from him. You thought It Follows was bad? Black Heart Bonnie is worse. Halfway through in at number 5, Big Bad Foxy. Big Bad Foxy is Foxy's third skin and the second skin for the delayed Scary Tales event. He was leaked early on when his assets were found in the game's files though. Big Bad Foxy appears to look identical to Foxy, however is now slightly darker in color and covered in dark gray hair. His hair tufts have extended length, and the left eye is now a large gaping hole shaped to look angry, while his right eye is now black with a red pupil. However, when used during encounters, he's instead replaced by my grandma, who wears a torn blue nightgown, a light blue nightcap, and large gold rimmed glasses, which is weird because her glasses aren't normally that big. And that nightgown must have gone through the ringer. Like, grandma, are you okay? That thing is tattered more than the old blanket you keep in the basement where you used to hide all the Christmas presents. What? Come closer. Are you sure, grandma? Like, I mean, like, we're both vaccinated, but like COVID's still a thing. Like, I don't want to put you at risk. What do you mean it's not a problem? Of course it is! In at 4, Jetpack Balloon Boy. Jetpack Balloon Boy is Balloon Boy's third skin and the third skin of the Scream Punk event. The skin was released on July 8th after being leaked by Lumix's community tab on YouTube over 12 hours early. But I mean, it's still better than Funko leaking the designs of the Security Breach animatronics, right? Jetpack Balloon Boy's body shape looks identical to that of Balloon Boy, but he now wears a brown leather coat with wool inside the hood, and a large pilot's hat decorated with various gears, bulbs, and other devices. He wears a pair of goggles with the right lens colored green and the left lens broken open to reveal a robotic yellow eye. His shoes and arms also appear to be made up of a bronze metal and covered in gears, and his sign now reads "Let's Fly," with letters being made out of scrap metal bolted onto the blank sign. His balloon is decorated to look like that of a hot air balloon with gears, jewels, and curtains covering it, although I haven't really seen many hot air balloons that look like that. And finally, as his name suggests, he wears a large jetpack on his back, which he will use to fly over your house and dive bomb it, because that's what steampunk stuff does, right? Blow things up? I mean, sounds like it would be fun. And at 3, Katrina Toy Chica. My first reaction to this is, what the f***? Katrina Toy Chica was added during the Halloween event and is the only one to have been added this way in 2020. As in, like, in the Halloween event. This skin is based off the character La Cartina de los Tolortis. I'm sorry, I totally butchered that. Who is a popular character in Mexican culture who is the representation of high society. She is one of the most popular figures at the Feast of the Day of the Dead in Mexico, according to what I found online. As for the actual character, the skin of the animatronic is a greenish gray color with a dark gray, nearly black beak and glowing red eyes and mouth, almost as if hell is burning from within. She has styled long black hair with various flowers throughout and even around her eyes. She wears a tattered purple cloth that reaches down to her thighs, and the bib says "We're here" in Spanish. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Maybe Eddie VR can do it for me. The cupcake is also horrific, like the nightmare version, but just the skull. In typical Dia de los Muertos fashion, this thing is terrifying and actually genuinely scares me. That was literally my first reaction when I saw this thing. Penultimately in at number 2, Flaming Springtrap. Flaming Springtrap was added during the Sizzling Summer event and was understandably the final skin to be added, at least in that update. Being Springtrap's second skin behind Toxic Springtrap, we weren't quite sure what to expect. Have you ever wondered what Springtrap looked like during the fire in FNAF 3, or wondered what it's like in my apartment right now? This is what it feels like. This also answers the original question, because he is definitely the kind of person to absorb up all the flames and then use them to his advantage. Flaming Springtrap is a coal-colored Springtrap with dark orange highlights, and he is glowing orange from his endoskeleton since it's so hot, and he has flames spouting out of every open area possible. 1000 degree endoskeleton challenge! His hands and feet are on fire the most, and for some reason he has no upper teeth. This is horrifying. Especially if these are real animatronics that Fazbear Entertainment is sending to people's homes. And my building thinks that my power block is a fire hazard. No. What the flying is this? I'm sorry for all the swearing, but like, this is just so befuddling to me. How are these things real? This is honestly just horrific. And are the skins canon, or are they just like an illusion using the illusion discs that were introduced in the Twisted ones? Oh wait, that makes sense. Finally, in at number 1, Clown Springtrap. That's right, the third Springtrap variation on this list. Clown Springtrap is Springtrap's third FNAF AR skin and was introduced in the Dark Circus event. Did you think that killer clowns were bad? Well, have I got a surprise for you! What about John Wayne Gacy as an animatronic robot? That's right, this bunny isn't William Afton anymore. Clown Springtrap has a pale white skin with blue and purple makeup around his eyes. He has messy purple hair and large red ripstick a la Joker. Clown Springtrap seems to be larger than his original counterpart, however it's unknown since his body is covered in a large torn clown suit, along with ripped black pants and shirt with a red and purple vest, and the signature large red clown shoes that Mr. Beast is guaranteed to want to run a marathon in. Don't forget the giant bow tie and flower on his chest that will definitely shoot water at you, but it will actually be blood. And to round off the DC analogy, he has the Joker lipstick like I said before, but also a Harley Quinn mallet, complete with red and black diamonds. So I guess this is truly the epitome of loving yourself. This is so messed up. I'm fine with clowns, like I don't find them scary, but why is this so messed up? Why would anyone allow this to be a thing? Why, Scott? Why? Number 10, Frost Plush Trap. Frost Plush Trap is supple flesh. And at 7, Frostbite Balloon Boy. Frostbite Balloon Boy is genuinely the first animatronic on this list to actually creep me out, like 100%. Like, if Jeff the Killer got lost in the forest at Christmas, this is what I think would come of that. Frostbite Balloon Boy was added in the Winter Wonderland event on December 17th, 2020. Frostbite Balloon Boy is honestly one of the most physically different skins on this list. Since for his skin, Balloon Boy was slimmed down. He's made entirely out of snow, with icicles sticking out of him in various places and a large chunk of torso removed, showing dark blue ice on the inside of his body. Someone added some food coloring or something to the water because like that's the only way that this can happen, right? Anyway, his balloon and sign are also made out of snow and ice, with his sign saying avalanche instead of the typical balloons. And his face is just, it's damn creepy. Look at this thing. When I said Jeff the Killer getting lost at Christmas, I wasn't kidding. This dude looks menacing. It genuinely makes me uncomfortable the way his dark eyes are like an abyss for my fraction of a soul. And his smile is just so Joker-like. And the sharp teeth is really what makes it too much. Nightmare Balloon Boy has nothing on this. Straight up. No cap. What up, fellow kids? And at 6, Arctic Ballora. Arctic Ballora is Ballora's first and currently only skin and was released on December 10th, 2020 as a part of the Winter Wonderland event, a week before Frostbite Balloon Boy. Arctic Ballora is physically identical, at least the base animatronic is, to her original counterpart, unlike how Frostbite Balloon Boy was slimmed down. Ballora is slim thick. But there are a few new additions in the form of ice spikes coming out of her torso and head, almost looking like the Ice Queen from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but if she was an adult. Arctic Ballora is as expected made out of ice, with pink jewelry on her face and stomach, and her top changing colors to pink as well, while also being a slightly different shape than normal Ballora. Plus, every male fan that has a thing for Ballora can finally see what's underneath it, since she's made out of fairly transparent ice, from what I can see at least. However, she is a cold-hearted so I don't suggest sticking around for too long. And while it may sound fun to have your tongue stuck to her, with the tutu made of ice spikes, it's probably not the best idea. Alright, we're doing a number 5, Radioactive Foxy. And you thought the Chernobyl movie was scary? Wait till you see Radioactive Foxy. Added as a part of the Wasteland themed skins in the Wasteland event, this version of Foxy looks almost identical to normal Foxy, except Radioactive Foxy is neon green and kinda transparent. You can see his endoskeleton fairly well, and it features a radioactive symbol on his stomach, along with a double hook, presumably because he had to have some form of mutation, and 2 heads is a little much. This dude is glowing green, and what makes this scary to me is the inclusion of the radioactive symbol on his stomach. Or maybe it's like on like the back of his back, or like the interior of his back, since it's translucent, but I don't know. It's not like any form of radiation would realistically put that there, so someone had to have put it there themselves. So they planned for this version of Foxy to be radioactive. Now I'm not sure about the canonicity of this game or the canonicity of the skins of the characters, but what I do know is someone planning on making a character radioactive with actual radiation is a bad thing. And Foxy is already kind of scary as it is. Like, his eye is glowing as if it was on, but he has no light behind it. He's just making the light himself. Like, what the actual hell is going on? And then for Swamp Balloon Boy. Frostbite Balloon Boy was scary. The little no-no-snow dealer was making sure all the bitty baps got their fix, but for some reason, Swamp Balloon Boy irks me more than his frozen counterpart. Swamp Balloon Boy was Balloon Boy's first skin released on November 26, 2020, and the third member of the Haunted Forest lineup. Sounds like something Great Wolf Lodge would do, honestly. It's like one of their wings. The Haunted Forest wing. Anyway, Swamp Balloon Boy is identical to normal Balloon Boy, but is made entirely out of mud. Like, the dude showed up for the opening of Shrek, which turns 20 this year, by the way. Like, yesterday, I'm pretty sure, as this video is going out, if it's going out on time, and today as I'm recording it. But throughout his body, we can see many roots, vines, leaves, and moss sticking out and growing out of him. His mouth is small and has a crack attached to each corner of the mouth that goes all the way around his head. And his eyes are empty, but more soul-sucking than the previous version we discussed. His sign literally looks like he pulled it from Shrek's swamp, and it says rot instead of balloons. Why is this so creepy though? Like, this, I don't mess around with swamps, and this is why. I feel like this is going to come out. I will deal with Swamp Thing, I will deal with Shrek, I ain't dealing with freaking Mud Balloon Boy. And at 10, Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy is a bipedal rusty golden bear with lighter accents on his muzzle, ears, and stomach. He has black scleras representing a stareless entity. I probably said scleras wrong, but you know what, I don't really care. He has multicolored wiring popping out of his eye sockets, arms, ears, knee pads, feet, everywhere. It will poke out. It's like a liquid. Golden Freddy's muzzle also has supportive gaped teeth, including his lower jaw. His teeth also appear to be a grayish white, resembling rust, kind of. I mean, it's a weird kind of rust. I don't know why the wiki says that. He appears to be slumped over sitting down, and as most of his iterations are. But in Ultimate Custom Night, Golden Freddy will occasionally appear in the office after the player closes down the monitor. The player must pull up the monitor again quickly or use the Freddy mask to make him disappear. Staring at Golden Freddy for too long will end the night, and he'll jump scare you. Although I think the reason this version is so scary is because you can't get rid of him with the death coin, because if you try, you'll get jump scared by psychic friend Fredbear and you'll lose. So just hide. Just hide. That's what these games teach us. Don't fend for yourself, just hide. Hide in a mask. Hide behind your tablet. Hide behind technology. That's what all you commenters do anyways, right? And at 9, Ennard. Ennard is the true main antagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, composed of the endoskeletons of the sister location animatronics, and makes a return in Ultimate Custom Night. Ennard is one of the many Funtime animatronics and is a human-like animatronic with like a weird wire endoskeleton body. He has a white mask, a red nose, red eyebrows, and a green-yellow colored party top hat, and his body consists of wires with an endoskeleton, but it also has like a red button and multiple eyes all over it, representing the different Funtime animatronics. And in Ultimate Custom Night, Ennard climbs in the vent system, but unlike other animatronics in the vents, he is difficult to track, appearing only briefly here and there while moving. He can't really be seen in the vent opening, but gives himself away by making a squeaking sound before attacking. You gotta close the vent door to send him on his way. Aside from being just one of the creepiest animatronics design-wise, this dude is just a whole load of worrying crawling around through the vents. So yeah, this man is getting on the list 100%. And at 8, Music Man! Music Man is a buyable animatronic from FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator and returns as an antagonist in Ultimate Custom Night. Music Man is kind of bipedal, although bipedal means you walk on 2 legs. This man eventually ends up having 4. I don't know if this version has 4, but he's white with pink accents on his eyelids, lips, nose, stomach, and has some purple accents around several areas. He represents a humanoid entity with spider-like legs blotched with purple coloring. His eyes are completely black with white pupils, similar to Freddy, and he has a black top hat guided with a white stripe, because of course, why do so many of these animatronics have top hats? His stomach contains a speaker with 2 separated speakers similar to the Funtimes. His symbol is yellow and has gray handles, but his properties are pretty damn special, okay? See, Music Man is sound activated, so with too much noise going on in the office, it will make him start crashing his cymbals. The player must then stop making noise or he'll crash the cymbals faster and faster, and eventually he'll jump scare you. And honestly, this is one of the most terrifying things in the game because the volume of the game itself is something that we can control, like through our computer, computer, but the noise that the game makes isn't something that we have any say over. So you, in part, just need to hope that you're lucky, and then deal with the noise threats as they pop up. And at 3, Nightmare On. Nightmare On is the antagonist exclusive to the Halloween DLC for FNAF 4 and is a returning character in Ultimate Custom Night. Nightmare On is a human-like animatronic that has a white mask with black tears, black lipstick, white dots for eyes, and has a row of teeth on the top and 6 teeth at the bottom. His body is black and is designed to look like a skeleton. He also has a large chest with ribs protruding from the sides like a little weirdo like me, okay? You can see my ribs under here. Slender body, skeletal legs, and arms with claws protruding at the end, and with white stripes at the end of his fingers. During the night, Nightmare On will appear if the mouse cursor lingers over him, and once that starts happening, the player must avoid the area where he is. Taking too long to do so will cause Nightmare On to fully reappear and jump scare you, so don't do it. But ultimately, in at number 2, a surprise guest, Mr. Hippo. Mr. Hippo is a viable animatronic from FNAF 6 and returns as an antagonist in Ultimate Custom Night. Mr. Hippo climbs through the duct system trying to reach one of the 2 hoses in the office. The player needs to use the audio lure to keep him in place, or they can use the heater to push him back. He is fooled 100% of the time by the audio lure and faster than Happy Frog. However, most of the scare factor doesn't come from their behavior, or their design, but this time around, rather, Mr. Hippo's death lines. You see, Mr. Hippo has a knack for going on about things a lot, going on tangents, kind of like me, honestly. But he goes into like 5-minute long speeches that you have to deal with every time he kills you, meaning that if you get jump scared, you're boned for enough time to make a sandwich, which is annoying as hell. Get scared by him enough and eventually you'll end up being terrified of him because you know what comes after the smoke of the jump scare clears. And finally, in at number 1, Nightmare. Nightmare is the main antagonist of FNAF 4 who returns in Ultimate Custom Night. Nightmare is a bipedal black nightmare bear animatronic. His face features contain scratches and distorts all over. His muzzle and jaw contains white sharp teeth with blood stains in the corner near his black gums and another set of teeth inside his mouth. The dude is like a demented, like one of those chickens that are like fully black including their organs. He's like one of those but an animatronic bear. His eyes contain black eyelids, red irises, and he has a shiny yellow hat because of course he does. He's a version of Freddy. His body features contain a lighter accent on his large stomach and he has a shiny yellow bow tie and another set of teeth crossing over his stomach. This dude has so many teeth. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare are actually a tag team duo in Ultimate Custom Night, invisible to the cameras, and they can only be seen when they reach your doorway. Wonderful. Fredbear will take the left, Nightmare will take the right. And even then, only their eyes are visible, okay? When you see this, you gotta close the doors on their faces to send them back into the depths of hell from whence they came.